for the missing 2-year-old in this case, that missing 2-year-old again, Taylen Mosley. Whether or not this update, this significant update, is specifically connected to Taylen or the homicide investigation with his mom, we're about to find out. Here's Chief Anthony Holloway.
Okay. It's with great sadness I have to inform you here today that Taylen's body has been found. It is my condolences going out to the family and to his loved ones. We are sorry that it had to end this way. Through investigative technique, we were able to find an area around Dell Holmes Park that led the investigators to that area. The detectives had been there all afternoon, and while they were there, they were spotted an alligator with an object in his mouth. As the detective got closer, they fired one round to the alligator. The alligator dropped the object that he had in his mouth, and we were able to retrieve Taylen's body intact. The father, Thomas Mosley, is now being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. I can tell you now that Taylen's mom, Ms. Jeffries, her body was stabbed multiple times. Until the medical examiner has a chance to look at Taylen's body, we cannot tell you the cause of death. I would like to thank all the law enforcement agencies that assisted us today, or since Wednesday, and a special thanks to our detectives here at St. Pete Police Department. These men and women have worked tirelessly since Wednesday at 2:30, trying to find hoping for Taylen for a better outcome. But again, that didn't happen. Needless to say, tomorrow we don't need the volunteers to come out to assist us in looking for Taylen, but I just want to again thank everybody for volunteering to come out to help us. With that, remember this is an ongoing investigation, so I will try to answer some of your questions.
And after almost 2 days of looking for little Taylen, I know you've had so many crews on the ground searching, brought in, all hands on deck, like you said. I mean, this has got to be tough for your team to see things end like this and brought in hard work.
It's very tough because these men and women, again, since Wednesday at 2:30, they've been working tirelessly trying to find Taylen, and we didn't want to find him this way, but at least we can bring some closure to that family now. Again, there's emotions up and down because as they're doing investigating, they're following up the leads that we were hoping that we could find him alive. So these detectives and these law enforcement agency officers, they go through a lot, and tomorrow, guess what? They got to start all over again doing something else. But my hat off to these men and women for being able to do this. At this time, we're not going to talk about that. Again, we're still doing this ongoing investigation.
If someone spoke with you at all, kind of what was the reaction to once that alligator is shot, to seeing that as a human body that the alligator had, if the officer that found him was able to speak to that?
I'm sorry, you were asking about...
I guess, what was the reaction, I guess, to seeing the human body in an alligator's mouth after that shot was fired?
Well, I can't tell you that. Just think about anybody. The officer sees a body of a child. What would be your reaction to that? What would you think? So that officer, he or she has to, they've been working since Wednesday, and they see a child in an alligator's mouth. So they got to do their job, but at the same time, I can't tell you their reaction. I can tell you probably a lot of emotion went through their body, but they still had to do their job.
How does one separate the job and the emotion, if that's even possible?
These men and women do it each and every day. They come to work, they investigate a case. Now they got to put a case together to make sure that Mosley get convicted of this. So they got to do their job on that, and they do it. They do it quite well.
Chief, are those 2 counts of first-degree murder? Is that one for passion, one for Taylen, or what are those counts for? Is he charged with both of their deaths, or just Passion's death? He's
charged with both of their deaths. 1 count for passion and 1 count for Taylen.
But you said the cause of death for the child is still pending, right? So we don't know if he was deceased before he went into the lake or after?
That is correct. So that's what we're trying to determine.
And then where is this lake in relation to the apartment complex?
So how far away is that?
It's miles.
It's several miles.
So it
If-
would have to be an intentional act, not like he just wandered out.
So let's just give you an example. Where the incident happened is way out on Gandy in 4, Lake McGorry is at 22nd South.
Is any Wydell Home Park, is that where the father lives?
Again, this is an ongoing investigation, and through investigation technique, we were able to zone in on that area.
And Chief, we heard that Mosley went to the hospital with cuts. Can you tell us if there was a fight back from Passion, if she was stabbed by him?
Again, this is an ongoing investigation, and all I can tell you, like I said, when he went to check himself into the hospital, he had cuts to his hands and to his arms.
Do we know if he's still in the hospital?
He is still there.
Since your last update, has he said anything to you? Or has he said anything about anything?
When the detectives went out and spoke to him, he didn't want to talk to the detectives, and then later on, he asked for an attorney.
You said police fired a round at the alligator. Have you taken the alligator in at all, or is the alligator back in the lake?
The alligator was killed.
Alligator was killed, okay.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Breaking news on WFLA Now. Here's JB Buno. Breaking news on WFLA Now. Here's JB Buno.
The body of missing 2-year-old Taylen Mosley found miles away from the apartment complex in the mouth of an alligator, as confirmed by St. Pete Police Chief Anthony Holloway a moment ago, and Passion Jeffrey, the mother of the missing 2-year-old, is confirmed to have died from multiple stab wounds. The boy's father charged now with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Good evening, folks. JB here with you live on WFLA Now. You could tell that was a difficult press conference for Chief Anthony Holloway. Difficult news, of course, for so many in the Tampa Bay area, so many in the state of Florida, and many of you who have been tuned into this story around the world, so concerned about this poor, sweet little boy, 2-year-old Taylen Mosley, who is confirmed to be dead after his remains were found in the mouth of an alligator in a body of water miles away from the apartment complex where he was last seen. The person who is accused of these in these deaths, of course, being the boy's father, who, as we learned earlier on today, admitted himself to the hospital with cuts to both his hands and his arms approximately 45 minutes after a loud commotion was heard inside the apartment belonging to Passion Jeffrey, and of course where Passion Jeffrey was with her son, Taylen Mosley. An extremely difficult situation, of course, for not just the police department, but of course Taylen Mosley's family, Passion Jeffrey's family, who are living through their worst nightmare tonight.